Hello everyone, today is June 6, 2025. These are the latest financial news at Finance Today MX. Our top story today, Tesla suffers worst stock market drop in more than 4 years due to clash between Trump and Musk. Today's stories. Tesla suffers worst stock market drop in more than 4 years due to clash between Trump and Musk. U.S. President Donald Trump and his former collaborator Elon Musk went from friendship to a war of accusations in less than a week, after the Tesla founder criticized the proposed budget known as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act in the United States for its potential effects on the country's debt. Employment in Mexico has the second worst month of May in 22 years. Private sector companies in Mexico cut 45,624 jobs in May, the second consecutive month of contraction in the labor market, which is in line with some signs of a cooling national economy. Consumer confidence in Mexico rises in May, breaking a 6-year decline. Consumer confidence in Mexico improved in May, following a negative streak that had brought it to its lowest level in nearly 2 years. However, this progress may not be sustainable given the current economic environment. Business. ASUR reduces traffic by 2.2% in May due to a drop in foreigners in Cancun. Grupo Aeroportuario del Sureste, ASUR, the private airport operator in Mexico, Colombia, and Puerto Rico, reported a 2.2% drop in total passenger traffic in May, compared to the figure reported a year earlier, primarily affected by a significant drop in international tourism served at its main airport, Cancun. CEMEX will issue a $1 billion perpetual bond to refinance debt. CEMEX, the Mexican construction materials giant, will issue a $1 billion perpetual bond, with the aim of allocating the proceeds to debt refinancing and other general corporate purposes. This represents a new step in its financial strategy after regaining its investment-grade status in 2024. A firm appoints Ruiz as CEO of its banking subsidiary, Ramirez leaves. Grupo Financiero, a firm, a provider of various financial services in Mexico, announced that Heliodoro Ruiz Santos was appointed CEO of its subsidiary, Banco de Inversión, a firm, effective May 27. OMA increases its passenger traffic by 6.9% in May thanks to the strong performance of Monterrey. Grupo Aeroportuario del Centro Norte, OMA, operator of 13 airports in Mexico's northern and Pacific states, reported that passenger traffic at its facilities increased 6.9% in May compared to the same month in 2024, thanks to increased arrivals of both domestic and international passengers. Banorte agrees to finance Jetar cars in Mexico. Grupo Financiero Banorte, the largest Mexican bank, signed a commercial alliance with the Asian company Soeast to finance its Jetar automotive brand in Mexico.
Sigma obtains patent and registration from IMPI. Sigma Alimentos, the producer of packaged meats, dairy products, and other foods and part of Alpha, announced that it has obtained a patent and registrations for several industrial models from the Mexican Institute of Industrial Property, IMPI. Economy. Analysts raise 2025 inflation estimate and lower it for 2026, says Citi Survey. Analysts at banks and brokerage firms in Mexico raised their estimate for national inflation this year, although they still see it within the Bank of Mexico's so-called comfort range, due to the expected slowdown in the economy and the continued cycle of interest rate cuts. The ECB continues its downward cycle of interest rates while analyzing the effects of trade tensions. The European Central Bank continued its monetary easing cycle by implementing a new quarter percentage point cut in Eurozone interest rates, while analyzing the potential effects on the economy and inflation of trade tensions with the United States over the Trump administration's tariffs. U.S. Supreme Court blocks Mexico's lawsuit against gun manufacturers. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled that U.S. gun manufacturers are protected by the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, blocking a lawsuit filed by the Mexican government in 2021. The High Court concluded that the companies had not been proven to have aided and facilitated illicit arms trafficking into Mexican territory, reversing a previous appeals court decision and returning the case to a district court. U.S. adds 247,000 unemployment claims, highest in 34 weeks. The United States received 247,000 new unemployment claims during the week ending May 31, according to data from the Department of Labor. Markets. Wall Street falls as markets assess Trump-Jinping call. U.S. benchmark stock indexes retreated on Thursday, giving up early gains, as traders weighed the possible impact of talks between President Trump and his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping. Peso reaches strongest level in 8 months. The exchange rate reached its strongest level since October, due to the weakness of the dollar as a result of U.S. trade protectionism.
Dear audience, thank you for your time during this week. We hope you find content value on what each day we present. We wish you to have you here next week in our financial briefing. If you found useful this information, please give us a thumbs up, comment, share with your community, and finally subscribe so you get the latest and greatest financial information. Have a wonderful weekend.